making another retrospective because before coming got deleted by YouTube moderation, I believe, one local commenter named Luca or Lucas, I believe, was asking a question about these videos as they watched it before, and it was, why would they go that far if simply mundane conversations and only small talk was ever revealed to be shown? And true reasons we may never know, but I can answer why some would go that far, and I can speak from my side of social groups in high school. This teen problem is essentially a carbon copy of smaller problems that occur within schools when it clashes with worldviews, and it's all the things when people are growing up. The first cherry pick here to that question is the idea of a fork being found dirty in a kitchen moment, because it's typical. Teenagers and adults alike sometimes equate difference with danger. The minute they may have saw me doing logs, they may have projected their own fears, even if they didn't mean to. It's akin to the metaphor of opening a package that reveals a thorny flower inside a car with four people. And the four people decide to leave not because there is a threat, but the possibility of that flower being used as a weapon to prick people. Our intent was to plant ourselves for them, not to prick them in metaphor. The group's reporting mechanism was similar to that. Except our weapon was not a weapon, it's just an editing tool. And they may have different privacy views at that same time, they can also. To wrap it up, yes, different worldviews and also projection too, because you project fear to a knife. A knife does not give you fear, for example. A thorny rose does not give you fear, you're scared of it. Now, the Go Group and the reporters, as you guys see in the Reflection Transparency Act, they did have a valid privacy complaint of me revealing names. The only issue that they decided to solve it is not by saying we don't want our names revealed, but instead by going straight to the disciplinary office. The problem with that, guys, is that even though the concern itself is valid, simply being named in a YouTube video and being talked of without revealing addresses or private moments is not enough for the bar for an official report or an official crime document, because after all, it is public. This was there's no expectation of privacy since this is open air in the morning, and I did not record them either, guys. Although it does violate their social norms, it is important to note that yes, they may have been afraid or so, but the way that they decided to solve that issue is inconsistent compared to the clause of good faith notice. The problem with that is that the real stakes are small. That transforms from a valid complaint into a real form of institutional weaponization. That sets a bad precedent because if another girl or boy does something wrong in that group, for example, what if they end up getting reported by each other too? Now, what if it becomes like a containment policy where other groups now feel comfortable to run to the dean over a small issue? Because it really is nothing. We're all simply trying to file. It's just trying to find a seat in their group. We're not trying to do anything. Like, there's nothing wrong that is shown there objectively. But what is definitely known is that they gravely misunderstood that the way we operate. And they also missed out on someone who's not a jack of all the trades, because I'm not a jock. But I may not be a fit high school jock or some Mina Dragon who does poetry every day. But let's say that I'm a running editor and I'm a master of one. Just to leave that out there. But anyways, though, the logs show retrospective innocence. And the intent was to find a seat, not do anything else. It proves the group's reports and the reason of conversations they did not know would be revealed later on as being valid on one part for the names, but being invalidated because of the way that they decided to solve it, and the fact that what was said to me during the visit was fairly vague, such as don't go to them again, and essentially a message of just stay away from them. Although people can debate the idea of being documented school history as uncomfortable or favorable depending on that's a debate about one's emotional state and preparedness for a camera. That is subjective from circle to circle, and that does not violate rules. What is objective is that the group did over-escalate a simple, informal solution and turned it into an administration's problem. That becomes exclusionary once you reach a point like that. That's like calling the police because someone put a cat in your yard. Also comes down to it, obviously it may be the only way they learn to solve problems or do things in school, or run to the dean if a boy does something, for example. That's what we notice in at least all the videos I made about them. I did not directly insult character like they're bad people or they're meanies. But the thing is that if they learn that way, at this point that's just social conditioning. But the reason I say this because our logs in reality showed innocent behavior. We're just looking for a seat, not doing anything else. And not their characters, but their behavior in classical theory explains why so many people hate high school. It's not because of the group. The group is great people, but it's because of the indirect exclusionary behavior that they represent. That's why I wonder how many people this group would have taken up before. Homework is hard, sure, but if we all had social insulation in school, logic, then it would be better. Had I not been there to log, I guess that someone else would have been a social victim of their indirect behavior. In some ways, even though I am scarred, I'm lucky because the complexity has brought reality back to light. The truth is that anyone can pretend to block. Anyone can pretend that the evidence or videos don't exist, or even one's friends may say that they may not interact per se. But that's like going out with your friends at night and closing your eyes pretending a star in the constellation Fornax does not exist. Starlight shines everywhere. That's the same thing for each person. Every person radiates their own light in one way or another. But as I said, guys, I will not be going after these people. Say that the debt that that group owes me is going to grow exponentially. It's not the type of monetary debt. It's not that type of money. It's kind of like a slow group debt. It's something that's going to grow exponentially in the future. It grows very small right now, but in the future, it's going to grow really high. But I will not be coming after this debt, guys. That's not my thing. I have other things to do. But in metaphors, guys, think of their social interaction as a baseball season. As part of the batter defense, called out a ball that I threw as a pitcher. They called out as a foul, so they used the ABS challenge system. But the only issue is they went to the team manager on their dugout. not the umpires, because managers have more authority, and so it did. But it was revealed that our throw was a logically valid throw. The group's batters, they should have striked out, even though they continued. And later on, I hit double home runs on the bottom of the ninth inning, saving our score and reputation. Socially exonerating. But the truth is that I didn't want to hit home runs against them. They forced my hand because they did accuse me. Another, think of it as a backup ship too. Our online digital safe base and local friends act as a secondary net in case a friend tries to end up turning on us like that manner as they did on March 3rd. Like the Battle of Scarif, Leah managed to escape, so think of her escape like that as it was. Although outside of the metaphors, guys, even though as fun it is to make things into metaphors, I believe that there were really good people. There was one boy who I thought was really nice, great guy, and maybe a few other girls too who I think even matched my content in tone too. And at the same time, in some ways, too bad I had to leave. At the end of the day, strip away all my editing skills and strip the people away from their social masks, strip the admin of their power suit. At the end of the day, is that we're all just trying to survive a world that is constantly growing and becoming more complex. They may have responded in a way that's valid according to their social rule, but personal, if we're all navigating a world, even the audience too. Wasn't reports for simply being named in a video, wherein that video had no negative intent, was not recording people. At the final accounting, if we're all trying to live, why add more complexity? Why do it?